What up, everyone? So, we've got Loot Crate DX. I did Loot Crate earlier this month. I usually do these back to back, but you know, things got out of order. But we got this massive box from Loot Crate DX. It seems a little bigger than normal, but maybe that's just in perspective to the other boxes. It's hard to tell sometimes. But this always shares the theme with the normal Loot Crate. So the theme was speed, I believe. And Loot Crate was okay. It did a decent job at it. Wasn't fantastic. It wasn't terrible. I'm also trying a new angle on my camera, so I should have better time with my autofocus, because I've had lots of trouble with that in the past. Alright. So, first off, looks like we got a t-shirt. And the t-shirts here are always pretty special. So this one, show it right here. Got a little paper airplane. And it looks like a 3/4 length sleeve shirt, which is what makes it a little bit different. I'm not sure if this is referencing anything specific. I'm sure it is. It would seem a little odd just to have a paper airplane on a shirt. I don't mind it. I think it's kind of cool, a little bit simple. But I'm sure it's referencing something specific. I can't think of what it is off the top of my head, but I'll check the card. It'll definitely say in there, and I'll know for sure. As far as these shirts go, I usually don't give ratings to the specialty shirts because the normal shirts, the reason I give a rating is because they all get the same exact value. Specialty shirts get their own value, so I usually don't give a rating. So just in case anyone's curious about that, that's why. But you know, it's decent. Quality is decent. It's still Gildan, so that's not the best of brands, and it's the heavy cotton. And I'm not a fan of 3/4 length sleeves, but maybe some people are. But you know, if they do shirts like this, they should also do tank tops. I would love a tank top. I know it's not for everyone, but I would be thrilled to have that. So anyway, I'll double check to see what that's from. But either way, I think it's a cool shirt. I like the simplicity of it with just a paper airplane. I think that's cool. Alrighty, next, looks like a big main feature item, the DeLorean. Alright, check it out in all of its splendor. Very nice little scale model of the DeLorean. Look how good that autofocus. That was great. So yeah, let's see what this is from. Welly is the company, and yeah, it just looks like a scale model, 1/24 scale, die-cast metal. So it looks very nice in quality, and it is actually made of metal, and it has all the parts in there. So yeah, really nice in quality. I really like that. So it's fitting with the theme. Back to the Future is kind of like a timeless movie, so you can kind of Loot Crate's done a lot of Back to the Future stuff before, so it's something that can kind of show up at any time. It's never really outdated anymore. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Really nice in quality. I like that. Did it? Nice little collectible. Really nice for display. Next is a book. The Art of Mad Max Fury Road. So this is an art book that just has concept drawings and things like that, I'm assuming, and just different graphic designs and things like that. I would assume only from the most recent movie. I actually love books like this. I used to buy these all the time when I was a kid. I only say as a kid because now I actually buy the artwork because I can afford actual artwork. But I would always buy books like this because I loved artwork and I loved to look through it. Now, the fact that it's so specific to one movie is a little unfortunate. I feel like if they're going to go through the trouble to make an Art of Mad Max, they should do the whole series. Like, it seems weird to do it specifically on this movie, the most current movie. And that movie was okay. It wasn't spectacular. It wasn't terrible. It was just kind of there. So it's still cool to see concept art and see the basis behind any movie. That's still really cool, but I think it's a little too specific in my personal opinion. So there's that. I don't think that's going to stay. Alright. Then, it looks like the last item, which is huge, which is probably why the bag is a little bit bigger, is a duffel bag. Transformers bag. So it just has the little logo right there, the Autobots logo, and I think that's it. I don't see anything else. It just looks like a standard black bag from there. And yeah, I'm pretty sure... Oh no, maybe this isn't a duffel bag. This is more of a... I forget what they're called. Messenger bag. That's what it is. So it has the strap, and it usually fits like a laptop or something like that. I'm pretty sure these are called messenger bags. And because we got a duffel bag before, this one's messenger. So, and this one's okay. Like, this is the problem I had before when we did get the duffel bag. They put good items in there, like bags are good, and a lot of people could use a messenger bag, but it's just overly simplistic. I just feel like they could have done a little bit better. If I was going to get a bag or a backpack or something like that, I'd want it to be a little more decorated. I know some people would like that, but it seems a little too simple for my taste, and I can imagine that not fetching as much value because there's not that much in it. Only because this could just be a patch. Someone could get a black bag just like this one for like pennies on the dollar at like Target or Walmart, buy a patch again for a few bucks, and then make it themselves. It seems like it'll hurt the value because there's no reason they would go through the trouble to buy this branded one when they could do that themselves. So that's why I would always encourage when they do bags and stuff like this to have them more decorated. Even if it's not someone's style, that will up the value, and I think it'll appeal to more people. I'm sure some people, like I said, do like the simplistic style, but I have a feeling that's going to hurt the value. So there's that. And then our last item is our very nice classy pin. So it's got an old school hot rod. Nice. The quality on the design on it's not super great, but the pins are always nice from this. And I don't think DX ones come with incentives, but I'll double check. So yeah, that was all the items in the box. Not a lot of items. We only got 5, 6, 1, 2, 5. Can't count. Good lord. Alright, so we'll take a short little break and then we'll come back and talk about some value on this box and give it a rating. See you soon. Alright, we are back. So, let's talk about some value. The shirt. So, the funny thing about this shirt, you can find it very cheap online. I don't think it was popular. I think the whole 3/4 sleeve concept is lost on a lot of people. I don't think a lot of people like it. So you can find this next to nothing online. You can find it for like $5 or $6 that some people are selling it for. But I'm going to be generous and fair with the value and give it the standard $12 to $15 shirt value because I think it at least deserves that. Just know you can find it cheaper, but I just wanted, for argument's sake, give it some value because if you were to go into a store and buy a 3/4 length sleeve t-shirt with any design on it, it costs a decent amount. So I'll be generous on this one thing and give it $12 to $15. Just know you can find it much cheaper. Next, our DeLorean. Like I was saying, it's really nice in quality. It's a very good model. I don't think the brand Welly is well known at all. I'm not familiar with it. It's a nice design though. It's going for about 15 to 20. And that's kind of surprising, I guess, so I couldn't imagine paying much more myself for it. But considering how nice it is in quality, if it were sold in the store, I could see it going for way more than that. But the problem with Loot Crate is they always send out so many of this product, it devalues it a lot. So if it were in a store, honestly, I'd probably see it going for like 30 plus, but this one specifically is only going for 15 to 20, and that price is probably going to drop a decent amount. If you wanted to wait for an auction, you could probably find it like a good 30% cheaper than that. So that price will probably drop, unfortunately. Then, our Mad Max book. Like I was saying, it's very specific because it's to that one movie, and I don't think that one movie was popular enough to merit an entire book for it. But that book's going for 10 to 12, which is fair. It's not hardcover, it's softcover. I can see it going for right around that price. I think that's a fair price, 10 to 12. Next, our bag. So this is exclusive, so what I saw in the booklet is that it actually has a print on the inside. So there we go. Has a design there, right there, and then this cool design on the inside, which also travels on the inside there. And it is also magnetic, so this doesn't fly open. I don't see the point of having magnets and the clasp, seems like one or the other, but it does have magnets, so it sticks there. So this is a little more interesting now, because now we have the cool design like I was talking about. Simplistic on the outside, complicated on the inside. So now I like this bag a little bit more. I think it's cool. But at the end of the day, it's still a messenger bag. Again, if that were in a store, it'd probably fetch $30 or $40. But since it's in the box and so many people don't want it, you could easily find this for $18 to $20. And that's kind of what the other bags go for as well. Like the other messenger bag I got, the duffel bag, they kind of go for around that price, which is unfortunate to see things devalued, but not everyone needs them. So when they put them in the box, so many people sell it online, and it floods the market, and it really brings the price down. So it is what it is. Then our last item, our pin. This one's only going for 3 to 5. Because like I said, the design's not that great. It's a cool little hot rod, but it's not super cool, and it's just kind of plain. So that's all the items in the box. There was only 5 items in here. And that brings our total value on the low end of 58 and on the high end of 70, which is really surprising. We've never gotten a box this low from Loot Crate ever with such a low percentage, especially DX with such a low percentage after the fact. And like I was saying, I was generous on the value of the shirts. I could have given it what it really was, which is like 6 or 7. And the DeLorean, like I said, that value is going to come down. And the Mad Max book, again, that value is going to come down as well because it's a book. So many people can read it and resell it as new. That's how books always are. The bag is cool. I feel like that should have gone for more, but it doesn't because not everyone needs a messenger bag. So pretty much everything in here was unpractical and not popular. I don't think The DeLorean I like, quality on that's great. The t-shirt would have been good had it not been a 3/4 sleeve. I think those look ridiculous. I'm not going to wear it. I don't think most people will either. And considering that I was generous on the values, and even with the generous value, the low end was just about what you paid for the box. If I was more realistic and harsh with them, you'd be getting less than you paid for, which is crazy. Loot Crate's never done that before. This is blowing my mind. They've never had such a bad box. And the items in here are fine, but $50 to $55 is way too much money to spend, considering that you're not even going to get that money back. That's so much money to put out every month, and even if you got what you paid for, still, that's way too much money, and you probably didn't like half the stuff in here. And you're going to have a hard time reselling because the value on them has dropped tremendously. So they really need to step it up. I think the DeLorean was a good choice, but it's not as relevant. They could have picked something more relevant to do a replica of. So that's why that's not tremendous in value. And everything else was just kind of weird and bad choices. And there wasn't a lot of items, only 5 items in here. So again, as far as the score, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10, maybe a lower. I was considering giving it a 3 out of 10 because you barely, on a good day, you got what you paid for, if even that. And the stuff in here is not good choices at all. You know, let me know what you guys thought about it. If you like 3/4 sleeve, if you like bags, I think this is a very poor box. The items in here are fine. If any one of these showed up in a normal Loot Crate, I wouldn't be that upset because it's only $20. But if you're spending $50 to $55 on this box, this is kind of upsetting. This is not a good thing to spend that much money on. It's really a poor choice, and it's kind of a waste, because even if you hate everything and wanted to sell it, there's no way you're getting your money back on this. Not a chance, because I don't think most people would want to buy these things. So that's very unfortunate on all ends of everything. I hope this isn't a sign of things to come, because this company is usually really great about giving double, if not more than that, as far as the value. But I guess this is just a bad month, and they really need to do more variety than just a messenger bag. They need to do more creative stuff like the normal Loot Crate. Things you're not going to get just anywhere. Things you're going to get specifically in the box that aren't just a different patch and a different design. And from what I could tell, this shirt isn't from anything the way they described it. It's just something they designed. I could be wrong on that too, but again, not from anything at all. So I'm pretty disappointed with this, and I think this was one of the biggest wastes of money I've ever had as far as boxes. I'm not happy with this at all. So 4 out of 10, maybe a 3. Let me know what you guys thought. This has been Loot Crate DX. Very poor box. See you guys in the next video. Love y'all. Peace.